Epic Wubbox on Cold Island is arriving very soon, maybe even in the next week. So let's look into everything that we know about Cold Island Epic Wubbox and beyond. If our seasonal theory is correct that we went over in our all theories for the Epic Wubbox video, it does make sense that we will be seeing Epic Wubbox on Cold Island therefore during the Festival of Yay. Exactly 3 months as we may have predicted in our video from Plant Island Epic Wubbox. Specifically though, if we take a look at a recent promotional image, we can actually see Wubbox on Cold Island hinting towards Epic Wubbox's arrival. But not only that, they are holding a present, and if we zoom into the present here, something really ominous is inside of this box. If we take a look at Epic Wubbox's egg on Plant Island, this actually does resemble Epic Wubbox's egg, but actually this is Cold Island Epic Wubbox's egg. If we take a look, the circular object on top of Epic Wubbox's egg on Plant Island is in fact on top of this egg, and not only that, it is a square shape fit in this present box exactly. This means in turn that Epic Wubbox will be arriving to Cold Island likely when the Festival of Yay begins next week, which is going to be so exciting to see another Epic Wubbox variant come along and add even more to the song. And it's going to be really insane as well, as it feels like we've only just got Epic Wubbox on Plant Island almost to me. Its design, I would expect, is going to be snow based. It's going to have very island based looks, I would expect. The icicle kind of theme and snow theme that you'd come to expect from it. If we're going to have a look at its dormant form, I would suggest that it's probably going to be an igloo. That's the most popular thing that seems to be going around for Cold Island Epic Wubbox, so why not embrace the community and bring it on? But if we're going to have a different design, I think a snowman would perfectly fit the snow vibe, and we could even have some lovely decor surrounding the snowman, giving it a nice personalised look, which in fact could tie into the Epic Wubbox's active state looks, or we could even have a freezer which opens when it awakes. I saw this comment and I just thought it was so funny, but I had to include the freezer idea. Out of all of these though, I think the igloo idea is the most likely situation. I think going off of how it was a tree house on Plant Island, it makes perfect sense to carry through that building theme that they have going on and to have an igloo here. If we're looking at its awake form, I think it's going to be very similar to Ral's design. Huge shout out to Ral's. They've captured the snow look and the stone-like theme that you can see amongst Cold Island really perfectly within this design, and I love the icicles on the horns and just everything about this design. It really does capture the personality really well. And if you have a look at the bottom, we can see the igloo-like formations coming out. That would likely be a part of its dormant state. If we're going to have an igloo, then I think it's very important for the active state Wubbox to incorporate that in some way, and I think this captures that kind of vibe perfectly. Of course, this isn't what we will be seeing for the final version of Epic Wubbox, but it certainly is, I do think, a very good representation of what it will likely end up looking like. I have no doubt we will be very surprised by its looks nevertheless though. For its horns, I'm really confused as to whether they will end up being there. I mean, it's a very inconclusive thing at the moment, as we've only had one variant of Epic Wubbox, and going by how cool they looked on Epic Wubbox, I would love to see some more, but I think varying that a little bit wouldn't take away from anything at all, and it would be a wonderful change up to Epic Wubbox just to ensure that its design remains a little different throughout all of its different variations that we're going to get. For its sound, I do expect for it to play at the very beginning of Cold Island, as I think we could have a bit of momentum added to that. But not only that, I think we are actually going to see Epic Wubbox playing a starring role, as I would expect for it to also play in a large chunk of the song, with that being towards the middle and ending of the song, as it feels like Epic Wubbox could add a lot more percussion to those verses there. And honestly, going by how it was on Plant Island, I have no doubt that Epic Wubbox is just going to completely change the Cold Island song for good in a massively good way, which is really exciting. Cold Island to me is my least favourite island. It's not got the best song in my opinion, but I'm so excited to see what Epic Wubbox can do to Cold Island, and I feel like it's going to make me really like the Cold Island song and maybe make me love it some more, so I'm very excited for that fact. For the instrument behind Epic Wubbox, we've been over previously how it's very likely to follow suit with the Plant Island Epic Wubbox voice, but for its more percussion based instrument, I would expect for that to change in fact from the instrument that we did have on Plant Island, and I would expect for it to have some kind of melodic bells that are quite impactful, that have that kind of vibe that Wubbox gives off, rather than being quite silent like to Yule's. I think this is very fitting of Cold Island overall, and honestly I think it just makes so much sense, so it's gotta go there, especially when you consider all of the wacky wacky movements Epic Wubbox will make. I feel like this will be a really cool combo, and that we'd get some really cool moves, maybe with its antlers that may come from it. And going from that, actually, I do want to bring up how the horns could be antlers, as I think this is the most fitting way to do Cold Island Epic Wubbox. Through the year, we've seen antlers absolutely everywhere. We've seen them on Plant Island Epic Wubbox in ways, and then we saw them on Enchantler and Magical Sanctum Titan, and of course Enchantling. So I feel like it's a very, very much the case that we may see some more antlers. And what better of a way to do one of the final updates this year other than having antlers once more? It's the symbol of 2021, and we've got to have a nice going out, I do think, for the year of antlers rather than the year of monsters. That's honestly what I'm going to remember it by. So I feel like it would be very fitting to have the antlers there. For the instrument change, I'm just so interested to see what it's going to change like. We don't know too much about how it's going to change per island, and seeing this time what the instrument change will be like, I feel like we'll set up what we can come to expect from Epic Wubbox and its instrument in the future. So that's going to be something that I'm going to be on the lookout for more than certainly with this Epic Wubbox variant. And it will be releasing, of course, on Wednesdays. We've been on a Wednesday. Oh my goodness, guys. Other than Epic Wubbox, though, we have Christmas costumes on the way. Inside of the promotional image, too, we can see a mammoth in the background wearing a costume that, in fact, hasn't been around for quite a while. I believe it was inside of 2014, going by the wiki. However, that may be incorrect, so I'm not sure. It's signifying, though, that all the costumes will be returning from previous years, more than likely. Now, we won't be getting Kana dressed up on Tribal Island. That's probably something that I'm not quite looking forward to. So Kana on Tribal Island getting dressed up is always the one that's quite fascinated me. So not having that anymore is going to be a little bit of a bummer. But we will be getting them all year round now, which of course will be wonderful. And also they can focus on other things rather than having to integrate them every single year now, which will be wonderful for the future. And also just adding costumes in the future also. Now this year, towards the end, it's very much felt like we've just had costumes. So honestly, I'm very excited for Epic Wubbox, but the costumes just aren't really doing anything for me. For the costumes that you can expect, I'd expect the regular get-up that we have. Steward, Magpie, the Dipsters, Shrub, Cane, Furcorn, Mammoth, that kind of thing throughout years. And obviously two costumes that we haven't seen for a very long time. Like I do say though, costumes aren't really doing much for me right now. I'm excited for 2022 and all the other updates that may come throughout the festival of year 2, as I do think they are the most exciting things. And honestly, I'm just costumed out at this point. We've had too many costumes from Playground, Feastemberg, Bootical. Honestly, there's been so many costumes. I'm just over costumes. Give me something else nice in your monsters, please. Can you believe Epic Wubbox is arriving as soon as this Wednesday on Cold Island? I am so excited for it. Seriously, Plant Island Epic Wubbox was so cool. If you enjoyed this video though, guys, make sure to leave a like down below and make sure to subscribe too, guys. Huh? Whoa, what's happening? Whoa! Oh!
The odysseys of the monster world are grand and mysterious. Its mysteries have remained unexplored for far too long.